nerderotic.com.
Welcome back to the Nerderotic channel. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from nerderotic.com, and we're here to talk about Star Trek Discovery. Yeah, I know it's been a while, been on a bit of a Doctor Who kick, but these are very similar circumstances, and it appears the Star Trek writers have attended a Canon boot camp. This kind of slipped by me. I think it slipped by a lot of people, but it's kind of buried in an article that came out yesterday. Last couple days. Updated, Picard show executive producer Michael Chabon reveals his Star Trek Galactic Map briefing. Now, this is during the boot camp that was mentioned right here. And the look on Picard's face on this picture, it kind of says it all, because it kind of says how I feel about this. Now, our main complaint, I'll speak for myself. My main complaint with what's going on with Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who, Marvel Comics, Ghostbusters, go on, is not inclusivity and diversity. I don't mind those things at all, and if I did, I would not be a Star Trek fan. If I was against diversity, why would I be a Star Trek fan? That's ridiculous. So no, it's against shitty writing, bad writing, and that's what we have been getting from our franchises, from Doctor Who writers admitting they have run out of ideas and canceling Christmas specials. We have writers from Star Trek going to a Canon boot camp, and you're like, hey man, why are you so hard on them? Like, what's wrong with going to a boot camp? Well, is there any shortage of writers out there who don't know Star Trek through and through? Mark Zickery, Ronald D. Moore is just a couple I can think of off the top of my head. But whatever, they went to Star Trek boot camp to get caught up on the canon, but it's who's running the boot camp, who is actually called the guru. Now, we have given Alex Kurtzman a lot of shit. We have given Les Moonves, CBS All Access, Brian Fuller, a lot of shit, and they've deserved it. But who's really avoided this is Kristen Bayer. Her name has come up quite a bit, and she is named in here the guru of all Star Trek canon. Actually, here's what Michael Chabon calls her. In a post on Instagram, Chabon reveals a sketch of a Star Trek galaxy, saying the supreme guardian of all Trek canon and beloved colleague, Kristen Bayer, dropped some cosmographical science on the Untitled Picard Project Writers Room today. Yes, I am having hashtag so much fun Instagram. Oh my God. And here is Michael Chabon's Instagram of her map. I'll let that sink in for a second. I don't think there is a better example of how seriously they are taking Star Trek, which is not at all. If you take a look at this, they couldn't have printed something out. I know it's supposed to be all fun, silly Billy, and they probably went to this Canon boot camp, and it was probably like a 2-hour lunch, a little Coke, a little coffee, allegedly. And this comment says it all. I kind of would have thought Kristen would have been more accurate. Well, I would have too. She was called, basically the guru of all things Star Trek. Then I went to check out Kristen Bayer's IMDb. And, okay. Star Trek Discovery, Star Trek Short Treks. Let's see if they could. Nope, there's nothing else. And I look at her filmography as a writer, and it only shows a writer and miscellaneous crew. And she was in the writer's room for all of the episodes of Star Trek Discovery, and a story editor on the Star Trek short Runaway, which broke canon within the first 5 minutes. And please go back to all of our Star Trek recaps to see what we thought of each episode individually. I did give the show a chance. We were one of the first to review it as an outsider. After it premiered live, we were on the air 15 minutes after it aired here on the West Coast, and we did a live recap. And again, we gave this show a fair shot. I knew it was crap almost immediately, but I waited, to come out and say it to like second or third episode. And then it just devolved into just me trashing the show by the end of the show. And this is where we're at, folks. This is where we're at with our franchises. There are people out there who are overqualified to write for Star Trek. In those recaps that I was telling you we just did, I saw Star Trek knowledge you would not believe from the people who were just in our chat, even from the people who were giving us shit. And there were people giving us shit. And it's kind of funny how it turned around, though. It's kind of similar to Doctor Who. There was a lot of people giving us shit for Doctor Who in the first couple episodes for being a little hard on it. And by episode 4, we had a lot of people turn to our side and they see where we are coming from, that this is all just fucking lip service bullshit. These people don't give a shit about Star Trek. They just want it on their resume so they can get a better job, or in Michael Chabon's case, maybe he just needs fucking work. I don't know. I don't mean to bash on the man personally. He is a Pulitzer Prize winner, but maybe those things should have a time limit. He's involved in the writing room with Akiva Goldsman, by the way, for the Picard series. Do not look for that show to be good at all. Again, I refer you to Michael Chabon's Spider-Man 2 script, which is online. Go check that out if you want to see how he does scripts. Writing books and scripts are differently, and he is just part of the room. Other YouTubers have pointed out that the writing room has just little to no experience in writing, period, much less Star Trek. If CBS took this seriously, they would find Ronald D. Moore, Mark Zickery, who I've mentioned before, Naren Shankar. They've all worked, who's currently on this Expanse, so leave him alone, who have worked for Star Trek, done better writing, write better in their sleep. These people can't write a fucking laundry list. They can't write a personal top 10. They can't, the only thing they should be writing is a gratitude list, grateful that they have this fucking job. For how long, I don't know. As it's been reported that Star Trek Season 2 has had a lot of problems. They fired the second set of showrunners halfway through Season 2's production. They brought back Spock when they said they wouldn't bring back Spock. They brought back the Enterprise when they said they wouldn't do that. They can't sell the short treks to anybody, not even to Netflix Europe, which is carrying Season 2 at a reduced price, reportedly. They've had to do a bunch of reshoots. Just all this has been bad. It's been bad from the get-go with this show, as we've stated earlier. And I just find it absurd that a professional writer, I find it absurd that CBS can't find writers who know Star Trek. And I find it really absurd that writers can't do research. That you have plenty of time to do research. There's a thing called Google. You have friends. I'm sure he knows somebody, Michael Chabon and Akiva Goldsman. They know people who know Star Trek. But if you're relying on somebody whose only writing credit is Star Trek Discovery to be your king of canon, Season 2 is not going to be much better. Now, it looks like they're building up to be basically a prequel to The Cage. And the events of Season 2 might lead up to The Cage. Sounds like a good, solid ending to me. I can hope. But as we know, hope is not a strategy. The only thing we can do is don't be habitual buyers. Don't be habitual watchers. Don't watch stuff when it sucks. That's the only way. It's voting with your wallet. It's the only way we will get through to them. And yes, of course, unfortunately, things are going to crash and burn. But maybe that's what we need right now. Under the supervision of the architect of the dark universe, Alex Kurtzman, which lasted all but one movie, I have a feeling it's not going to last very long. So I look forward to hearing from many of you about this. And you know what? I'm hearing less and less from people who defend this show, which tells me that things are turning around. The problem is the end game on this is it's going to get canceled and we're not going to have any Star Trek. But you know what? No Star Trek is better than shit Star Trek. So if you like what you hear, please like, share, and subscribe. If you don't like what you hear, please comment. Tell me why. And you can do it, throw a personal insult, but also try to, blend in an argument with that. And that's totally fine. I don't mind at all. We do most of our TV recaps live. About 10 or 15 minutes afterwards. Please go to nerdrotic.com. That is where our live schedule is. I also, we do 3 live streams here. The Nerdrotic Nooner, which is on Monday and Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. And of course, Friday Night Tights with my friends and co-hosts Susan Layton from 1428elm.com and Dennis Bethaukis, where we talk about anything and everything under the sun, but mostly we talk to you because we are mostly a live interactive channel. I will be premiering this video, so I will be looking forward to talking to you guys while this airs. And may the small folks sing songs of greatness. Take care.
nerderotic.com. Please subscribe.